They thought they had you all figured out. They looked at you and saw someone ordinary, someone who blends into the background, someone they didn't need to worry about. But they were wrong. Deep down, you've always known you see the world differently. You notice things others overlook. You connect dots they don't even see. You've been playing chess while they've been playing checkers, moving pieces with precision, seeing moves ahead. They underestimated you because you never felt the need to prove yourself. You watched quietly, observing, learning, and understanding everything going on around you. And that's what makes you dangerous. Your intelligence isn't just about knowing facts or having the right answers. It's about perception, intuition, and understanding the deeper truths that others miss. You see people for who they really are, not who they pretend to be. You see through lies and deception, reading between the lines and catching the hidden intentions behind their words. This isn't just ordinary intelligence, it's spiritual wisdom. It's the insight that comes from a soul that's lived through ages, that has seen and understood the patterns of life. They thought you were naive. They mistook your silence for ignorance. But you were always 10 steps ahead, watching their every move, understanding their motivations even before they understood themselves. They played their games, thinking they could manipulate or control you, thinking you wouldn't see through their masks. But you did. You saw through everything. You played along, letting them think they were winning, while you patiently waited, gathering your strength, preparing for the moment to reveal who you really are. The truth is, they never saw you coming. They never expected you to be this wise, this powerful, this aware. They thought they were dealing with someone they could easily fool, someone who would believe their lies and fall into their traps. But you're smarter than they thought. Much smarter. And now they're starting to realize it. They're starting to see that they were playing checkers while you were mastering chess. They're realizing that every move they made was just a piece of your grander plan. Now they're confused, trying to figure out how you saw through them, how you knew what they were going to do before they did it. They're starting to fear you, not because of any threat you've made, but because of the power you hold just by being who you are. Your intelligence is your weapon, and you wield it effortlessly, gracefully, without needing to prove a point. You don't boast, you don't brag, and that's what makes it even more intimidating. They underestimated you because they didn't understand the depth of your mind, the wisdom of your spirit, and the strength of your soul. They thought they could outsmart you, but they were only outsmarting themselves. You let them think they were winning, only to show them that you were never even playing their game. They realize now that they never stood a chance, because while they were busy trying to outwit you, you were busy mastering yourself. You are a chosen one, and that means you see things others don't. You understand truths that others fear to confront. Your intelligence isn't just sharp, it's profound, deep, and spiritual. It connects the seen with the unseen, the known with the unknown, and that is why they can't figure you out. That is why they can't control you. You are smarter than they thought, and that realization is shaking them to their core. Being smarter than they thought isn't just about being clever or strategic. It comes with a price. The truth is, when you see the world more clearly than others, you also see their illusions, their fears, and their insecurities. And people don't like being exposed. They don't like feeling vulnerable. When they realize that you can see through their facades, they become defensive, even hostile. They'll label you as arrogant, cold, or distant because they can't handle the truth, you see. They don't understand that your intelligence isn't just about logic or reason. It's about awareness. You're aware of energies, emotions, and unspoken words. You walk into a room and immediately sense the atmosphere. You feel the tension behind smiles and the insecurity behind arrogance. You know when people are lying, not because of what they say, but because of what they don't say. You read people like open books, even when they try to hide their true selves. But this awareness comes with challenges. You feel alone, isolated, even because you see things others don't. You understand things others can't. You carry knowledge that they're not ready to face. And because they don't understand you, they fear you. They talk behind your back, gossiping about how you're different or weird, because they can't categorize you. You don't fit into their boxes, and that makes them uncomfortable. They'll try to discredit you, downplay your wisdom, and make you doubt yourself. They'll call you crazy, too sensitive, or overly analytical because they can't grasp the depth of your perception. But that's just their fear talking. They're afraid because you see them for who they truly are. You see their insecurities, their weaknesses, and their fears. You see through their masks, and that terrifies them. The stakes are high because being this aware makes you a threat to their illusions. It makes you a disruptor to their comfortable lies. They will do everything they can to make you question yourself, to make you feel like you're the problem. They will project their insecurities onto you, accusing you of the very things they're guilty of. They will manipulate narratives to make you look like the villain because they can't face the truth of who they are. If you don't understand your own power, you might fall into their traps. You might start believing their lies, thinking that you're the one who's broken or flawed. But the truth is they're just afraid of your light. They're intimidated by your intelligence because it reveals their ignorance. They can't handle the way you see through them, so they try to bring you down to their level. They want you to shrink so they can feel bigger. But the moment you realize this, everything changes. When you understand that their negativity is just a reflection of their own fears, you become unstoppable. You stop taking their words personally because you see through the illusion. You stop trying to fit in because you realize you were never meant to. You were meant to stand out, to rise above, and to lead with your wisdom. You have a choice. You can let their fear and ignorance bring you down, or you can use your intelligence to rise above it all. You can let their judgments make you doubt yourself, or you can see them for what they are, projections of their own insecurities. You can play small to make them comfortable, or you can embrace your intelligence and shine. The stakes are high because embracing your wisdom means standing alone, at least for a while, but it also means standing in your power, living authentically and fulfilling your purpose. The world needs your insight, your vision, and your courage. They may not understand you now, but they will one day. And when they do, they'll realize that you were never the problem. You were the solution they were too blind to see. You've always felt different, haven't you? Like you don't quite fit in with the crowd. You see the world in ways others don't. You question things others accept without thought. You search for deeper meaning while they're satisfied with surface-level answers. It's not that you're trying to be difficult or rebellious. It's just that your mind works differently. You see connections others miss. You understand complexities they can't grasp. Your intelligence isn't just about knowledge or education. It's about wisdom. It's about understanding life at a deeper level. And that's what makes you a chosen one. Your perception is a gift. It's not just about seeing what's in front of you. It's about seeing beyond it. You have an uncanny ability to read between the lines, to pick up on subtle cues, and to understand the underlying truth behind people's words and actions. You notice the small details that others overlook. You see patterns, connections, and hidden meanings. It's as if you have an internal radar that senses what's really happening, even when no one is saying it out loud. This gift of perception allows you to understand people on a deeper level. You see through their masks, their pretenses, and their carefully constructed facades. When someone smiles but their eyes are full of pain, you notice. When someone speaks with confidence but is hiding insecurity, you feel it. You don't just hear words, you hear the emotions behind them. You don't just see actions, you see the intentions that drive them. This ability can be overwhelming at times. You're constantly processing more information than others, noticing the contradictions between what people say and what they truly feel. You understand the complexities of human nature, the shades of gray in a world that others see as black and white. It's not just that you're observant, it's that you're deeply intuitive. You feel things on a spiritual level, sensing energies and vibrations that others are oblivious to. But this depth of perception can be isolating. People don't realize how transparent they are to you. They don't know that you can see right through their lies, their manipulation, and their hidden agendas. They think they're fooling you, but you're simply choosing not to expose them. You play along not because you're naive, but because you're wise enough to know that not every truth needs to be spoken. You understand the power of silence, the value of observation. This is why people often feel uncomfortable around you without knowing why. It's because they sense that they can't hide from you. They feel exposed, vulnerable, as if you can read their minds and see through their souls. They might even accuse you of being cold or distant, not realizing that you're simply protecting your energy from their chaos. You keep your distance not because you don't care, but because you see too much, feel too much, and need space to process it all. Your perception is a gift, but it's also a responsibility. You're able to see the truth, even when it's painful. You see people's potential, but also their shadows. You see their goodness, but also their flaws. This makes you compassionate, but also cautious. You want to help, to heal, to uplift others, but you also know that not everyone is ready to face the truth you see. Not everyone is ready to grow or to change. You carry this wisdom quietly, gracefully, without needing to boast or prove yourself. You don't need validation because you already know who you are. You trust your intuition because it has never led you astray. You trust your perception because it's grounded in spiritual truth. And this makes you powerful beyond measure. It gives you an edge, a depth of understanding that others can't even begin to fathom. This gift of perception is your superpower. It allows you to navigate life with clarity, to make decisions with confidence, and to avoid the traps that others fall into. It allows you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It allows you to learn from every experience, every interaction, and every challenge. This is why you're always one step ahead. This is why they can't fool you no matter how hard they try. You don't just see the present moment. You see the patterns that lead up to it. You notice how events are interconnected, how actions create consequences, and how the same themes repeat in people's lives. You understand that nothing is random, that every effect has a cause and every choice leads to a result. This ability to recognize patterns gives you a strategic advantage. It allows you to predict outcomes before they happen. While others are caught up in the moment reacting to what's happening now, you're already thinking ahead. You see the ripple effects of decisions, the chain reactions that others are blind to. This makes you a master planner, a visionary who sees the bigger picture. You understand how the past influences the present and how today's choices shape the future. This isn't just intelligence, it's foresight. It's the wisdom to see beyond what is immediately visible. This gift can be frustrating because people don't see what you see. They live in a linear world, moving from point A to point B without understanding the patterns that connect everything. You see the cycles, the repetitions, and the loops. You see how people repeat the same mistakes because they don't learn from the past. You see how history repeats itself, both in the world and in individual lives. You see through the illusions of randomness and coincidence. You understand that everything happens for a reason, that there are no accidents. This makes you highly intuitive because you can sense what's coming next. You don't just react to life, you anticipate it. You know how to be at the right place at the right time, not because of luck, but because of your deep understanding of patterns and cycles. This makes you a problem solver. You can analyze situations from all angles, seeing both the details and the big picture. You're able to find solutions that others can't see because you understand the root causes, not just the symptoms. You know how to break cycles, how to change patterns, and how to create new outcomes. This makes you powerful because you're not controlled by circumstances, you shape them. But this depth of insight can also make you feel misunderstood. People think you're overthinking or being too cautious because they don't see the patterns you see. They live in the moment, reacting without understanding the long-term consequences. They think you're paranoid or pessimistic when you're simply being realistic. They can't see the storm coming because they're focused on the sunshine. Today, your pattern recognition isn't just about logic, it's spiritual. You see the karmic cycles, the lessons that souls are meant to learn, and the growth that comes from breaking negative patterns. You understand that everything is connected, that every action creates energy that returns in some form. This gives you a deep sense of responsibility because you know that your choices don't just affect you, they affect the entire web of life. This insight is why you're always one step ahead. It's why you're able to adapt to change, to survive challenges, and to thrive where others struggle. You see the opportunities in every crisis, the lessons in every failure, and the blessings in every loss. This is why you're resilient, unbreakable, and unstoppable, because you don't just see what is, you see what can be. Your intelligence isn't just logical, it's emotional and intuitive. You feel things deeply, sensing emotions, even when they're not spoken. You know when someone is hurting, even when they're smiling. You feel the tension in the room, even when everyone is pretending everything is fine. This emotional intelligence allows you to connect with people on a soul level. You understand their pain, their fears, and their hopes without them saying a word. This intuitive knowing isn't just about reading people, it's about sensing energies. You feel the vibrations of places, situations, and interactions. You know when something is off, even when there's no logical reason to explain it. You trust your gut instincts because they're never wrong. You've learned to listen to your inner voice, your spiritual guidance that tells you the truth even when others are lying. Your emotional intelligence makes you empathetic, but it also makes you wise. You understand the human condition, the struggles and the conflicts that people face. You see through the masks they wear and the roles they play. You understand that anger is often pain in disguise, that arrogance hides insecurity, and that hatred is just fear turned outward. You see the humanity in everyone, even in those who try to hurt you. You don't just accept what you're told. You question everything. You think for yourself, challenging conventional beliefs and seeking your own truth. While others follow the crowd, you follow your intuition. You don't conform to societal expectations or blindly accept authority. You trust your own mind, your own experiences, and your own understanding. This independent thinking makes you a leader, not a follower. You've always been this way. Even as a child, you asked questions that adults couldn't answer. You refused to accept explanations that didn't make sense. You sought knowledge on your own, diving deep into books, ideas, and philosophies. You explored topics that others found boring or complicated because you wanted to understand the world beyond the surface level. This thirst for knowledge didn't make you popular, but it made you wise. Your mind is open, flexible, and curious. You don't cling to beliefs just because they're comfortable. You're willing to change your perspective if new evidence comes to light. This makes you adaptable, open-minded, and progressive. You evolve, grow, and expand your consciousness because you're not limited by dogma or tradition. You seek truth, even if it challenges everything you once believed. But this independence comes with challenges. People don't like it when you question their beliefs. They feel threatened when you don't conform to their way of thinking. They accuse you of being rebellious, difficult, or stubborn. They try to pressure you into accepting their version of reality, but you can't. You see through the illusions, the lies, and the half-truths. You see the manipulation behind societal norms, the control behind organized systems. This makes you a disruptor, a truth seeker, a revolutionary spirit who refuses to be controlled. You're not afraid to walk alone because you know that truth is often found off the beaten path. You don't seek validation because you trust your inner knowing. You don't need approval because you're confident in your own mind. You don't fit in because you were never meant to. You were meant to stand out, to be different, to challenge the status quo. Your independent thinking makes you powerful because it frees you from the limitations that others accept without question. It allows you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It empowers you to create your own path, your own destiny. It protects you from manipulation because you're not easily influenced. You don't follow trends or fads because you set your own standards. You're guided by your values, your vision, and your purpose. They thought you were difficult, but you were just thinking for yourself. They thought you were stubborn, but you were just staying true to your beliefs. They thought you were lost, but you were just exploring your own path. They didn't understand your independence because they were trapped in conformity, but you were always free. You were always sovereign. You were always true to yourself. This is why they fear you. They can't control you. They can't predict your moves because you don't follow the rules. You're unpredictable, unconventional, and unapologetically yourself. You live by your own code, your own truth, and that makes you unstoppable. You don't bow to fear, to pressure, or to expectations. You rise above, guided by your own light, your own wisdom, and your own power. Your intelligence is a blessing, but it's also a burden. People don't understand you because you think differently, see differently, and feel differently. They don't get your depth, your complexity, or your vision. They misinterpret your silence as indifference, your solitude as arrogance, and your independence as rebellion. They label you as strange, difficult, or aloof because they can't figure you out. This leads to loneliness. You feel isolated because people can't relate to your thoughts, your insights, or your worldview. You find it hard to connect because small talk bores you, and superficial relationships drain you. You crave depth, authenticity, and meaning, but most people are content with mediocrity. You feel like an outsider, a stranger in a world that doesn't resonate with your soul. They misunderstand your intentions because they don't see the bigger picture. They judge your choices without understanding your vision. They criticize your ideas because they can't comprehend your depth. They try to limit you because your potential threatens their comfort zone. They gossip, criticize, and reject you because they're afraid of what they don't understand. But this isolation is a blessing in disguise. It protects your energy, your vision, and your purpose. It forces you to turn inward, to find strength within yourself. It teaches you self-reliance, resilience, and independence. It sharpens your mind, deepens your wisdom, and strengthens your spirit. It prepares you to lead, to inspire, and to rise above the noise. This loneliness isn't a curse, it's a calling. It's calling you to rise above mediocrity, to embrace your uniqueness, and to live authentically. It's calling you to find your tribe, your soul family, who resonate with your frequency. It's calling you to be a light in a world of darkness, a voice of truth in a world of lies. It's calling you to fulfill your purpose, to share your gifts, and to change the world. You are not alone. There are others like you who think deeply, feel deeply, and live deeply. They're scattered around the world, hidden in plain sight, waiting to connect with you. Your loneliness is temporary, but your purpose is eternal. Your pain is real, but so is your power. Your struggles are challenging, but so is your strength. This is why they underestimated you. They couldn't see your power because they couldn't understand your pain. They couldn't see your light because they were blinded by their own darkness. They couldn't see your potential because they were limited by their own fears. But you saw through all of it. You saw beyond the illusions because you were meant to. You were meant to be different, to be bold, to be wise. Your intelligence is your greatest weapon. It's not just about being smart. It's about being wise. It's about using your mind to create, to inspire, and to transform. It's about using your insight to uplift, to heal, and to empower. It's about using your wisdom to navigate life with grace, with courage, and with purpose. Embrace your intelligence. Own your wisdom. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Stop playing small to fit into their boxes. Stop hiding your brilliance because they can't handle your truth. You were not meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. You were not meant to conform. You were meant to challenge. You were not meant to be ordinary. You were meant to be extraordinary. Use your intelligence to rise above their limitations. Use your wisdom to break free from their expectations. Use your insight to create your reality, to live your truth, and to fulfill your purpose. You are smarter than they thought, wiser than they know, and stronger than they realize. And now, it's time to show it. You are smarter than they thought because you see the truth they refuse to face. You are wiser than they realized because you understand the depth they can't comprehend. You are stronger than they expected because you've faced battles they'll never know. You were underestimated, misunderstood, and misjudged. But none of that matters now. What matters is that you finally see yourself for who you truly are. What matters is that you embrace your intelligence, your insight, and your power. What matters is that you live boldly, fearlessly, and authentically. You are a chosen one, a visionary, a leader, and it's time to rise, to shine, and to fulfill your destiny. They may have underestimated you, but you will prove them wrong. You will show them who you truly are, and they won't see you coming.